The Trade Committee of Parliament had expected Enlika Pineti, the director of Uganda Vinci Coffee Company Limited, to appear and explain the agreement she entered into with government. However, Company Secretary Moses Matovu informed the committee that Pineti had been summoned at State House.
We have looked for her even when we had the issues of war. We looked for the woman or man. We never found her. We have the same problem, which is very serious to this country. We are looking for the person, is nowhere to be seen.
Before we could allow them to say something in regard to this, we need the person we invited. Unless somebody is going to say that, you see, you've been calling me Matovu, but I'm not Matovu, I'm Pineti.
Wouldn't it be procedural right to send the Musijiri to go back and look for the real person, and then we proceed?
That Mrs. Pineti is not a shareholder of the company. She is a director and the chair of the board of directors. She was meant to be with us this morning. Unfortunately, she was summoned to State House. And
can you receive the information, then you can decide?
As the standoff continued, the committee's lawyer told members that Matov, as the company secretary, can represent Pineti before the committee. When the session resumed, MPs learned that the investor has or is intending to mortgage 25 acres of land received freely from government at Namanve to raise funds to construct a coffee processing factory.
The letter says, request for consent to mortgage facility. The key words, we intend to mortgage the land to secure a credit facility to establish and operate this factory.
Okay, but
so what are you denying?
Probably this last agreement was what they were left with to process the mortgage. Or they already have the mortgage. But the fact is they intend to, because they already made a request and it was granted.
The document you have is permission to mortgage. It is not a mortgage. You will not find on our planet a mortgage deed signed by UVCC with any financier. You will not find any loan with any bank as at this time. So I confirm, Chair, we have never borrowed and we have never mortgaged the land.
You see,
MPs further found discrepancies in the dates when the Uganda Investment Authority authorized the company to get the mortgage.
The request for consent for the mortgage was written on 30th August 2018. And the reply was on 30 August 2018, which was the first.
What came first? Was the UIA grant, did it grant this mortgage offer before they requested? That is the clarification I'm seeking, Honorable Chair.
That mortgaging government land, if you're a foreign investor, you have to have developed 60% of the land and the local investor 30%. And that once that is done and approved by the chief government valuer, then you can mortgage the land.
But this process was not followed.
Mr. Chairman, the process was followed for that time, but Mr. Chairman, the entities who are in charge of this are in the country, they can explain.
Earlier, the company secretary Moses Matovu had dispelled fears raised by MPs led by Abed Bwanika that the agreement sought to give the company monopoly over Uganda's coffee industry.
Now they went to force majeure and they say if there are issues which actually affect the company is at liberty to cancel, not Uganda.
The committee should recommend cancelling of this agreement in the interests of the people of Uganda.
Why government chose to provide the support that it provided is because up to this point, no one has undertaken the kind of activity that UVCC is trying to undertake.
The committee investigations continue. Herbert Ziwa, NTV at Parliament.